So Councillor Ian Bell is crying that the people of Epworth are drinking bullfrog water. What can go so?
At this point, I could, certainly not on my own, advocate for a ban on social media. What I think is necessary, though.
Blessings, ABR family and viewers. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Isabel Rose. And in this one, Minister of Health Chris Tufton believes that social media addiction is causing high stress levels amongst people and children, and hints at some restriction as it relates to social media. As well as the Ministry of Education urges Christian community to help rescue Jamaican students, and Councillor Ian Bell of the Beechertown Division says the municipality is slow in repairing the water catchment tank in Epworth community and that the people are drinking bullfrog water. Please stay tuned for the details at hand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, following a rise in mental health concerns since of recent, within the month of September alone, the Ministry of Health has received over 500 calls as it relates to mental health concerns and have basically provided counseling and other interventions somewhat. Chris Tufton, who is the Minister of Health, believes that the social media is contributing to the growing mental health problems. And he was basically in a interview somewhat, and I would love for you to hear what he says in its entirety. And he even went as far as to basically hinting at creating some restriction as it relates to social media.
I don't think that at this point I could, certainly not on my own, advocate for a ban on social media. What I think is necessary, though, is for a recognition by the society that it can be addictive and that there are certain controls, particularly when it comes to young people, children in the homes, in terms of what they access. As you know, there are possibilities around restrictions based on the device that you use and the parameters that are adjusted, the settings. And there are many people who do that. Beyond that, it really is your own self-discipline and self-awareness. From a government's perspective, I think we have to start with the awareness that it's not just about entertainment or even information. It can lead to influences and indeed can create challenges. I mean, I've seen on social media where people trying just to make a post popular harm themselves in significant ways, even dying. People jumping out of planes and all sorts of things. So there is no doubt, I don't think it's debatable, that social media is a double-edged sword. And what we have to do is to get the society to recognize its potential ills, even while accepting the positives on it. I guess the future will determine whether the issue of how you restrict from a government policy perspective would have to be dealt with. I do believe that some sites should be restricted. The question is how you manage that. Well, as I said, I think that you have to balance between the right of persons to choose and to have information and access to their device and what they access on the device against what serves the greater good of the population and the society. And I think it starts with informing people about what the ills potentially are. And I think we have to do a better job at it, because I don't agree that many people think that social media is addictive. I am saying it now. And we all, to some extent, perhaps practice it and don't even realize it. And I think one of the first things we need to do is to challenge persons to think about whether or not they should turn off their phones at 9 o'clock and go to bed, because rest is more important than being on the, I don't want to call any names, the various platforms until the wee hours of the morning, and then don't get enough sleep, and then the next day you're stressed out and tired and can't drive the vehicle and so on, and get into other issues. I think those are issues that we have to confront and say frontally. Now, the other extreme of that around restriction is where you have children who can be exposed and can manipulate the device perhaps even better than we can as adults, because that's their kind of era, and are therefore able to access how to make guns, access lewd sceneries that could be devastating, access how to create AI, access how to bully, or indeed become the victims of bullying. And I think that from that perspective, parental guidance should be applied. And indeed, as a society, we may have to consider some of those in a more formalized way. So I know it's not the answer you're looking for, but in other words, it's a mix, it's a balance.
But while some believe that this is a way for them to basically control what is put out on social media, many are saying that he should have been fired from the get-go. Some are even looking at his social media brought to light what has been taking place at the whole Market Me situation saga between the Ministry of Health and him being the head of SAME, the Ministry of Health granting, contracts that were not reported of almost $80 million to one particular company. And even though the ministry had a PR group doing the very same work. And so I believe, with all of the mismanagement under his belt, he is the last person to come and speak about social media creating mental concerns amongst people. The people are not pleased with this administration bombarding themselves on the people. The people don't have a say. The dictatorship style of governance under this administration, that is what the people are displeased about. The friend and company eating a food government, and the common man cannot afford the goods and services in his own country. Those are some of the things that are creating high stress levels amongst the people. And it is said now that other groups are calling for public sector workers' wages to be cut. So what will happen in this country? ABR family and viewers, I don't want to say too much as it relates to my opinion on all of this, but I believe that this minister should have been fired and go on about his business. What says you as it relates to this and him speaking about social media and restrictions? Also, in the meantime, what are some of the causes of these high stress levels that you believe amongst the population in our country right now? What are some other causes of these stressors? Meanwhile, the Minister of Education, Senator Dana Morris Dixon, urged the church community to rally behind educators to help rescue Jamaican students who she contends are displaying troubling behavior because of the absence of religious values from their upbringing resulting from broken homes. She says our environment has changed, our homes have changed, our communities have changed. The values we used to teach our children are not the same. Our children need to know God. Our children need to encounter God. While I can agree that the society needs more God and that the churches needs to be more active, especially in our communities. Remember, it takes a village to raise. The last time I checked, the adults them harm the children them more than anything else. The last time I checked, this administration wants to legalize obia in the country, right? And remember too, when a Peter Bunting, who was a former Minister of National Security under a People's National Party administration, he called for divine intervention. The same administration ridiculed and mocked. What is so wrong in calling on God? And them same one turn round now, calling on the church to help with our children, calling on the church to help in the communities. And last but not least, Ian Bell, who is a councillor of the Beechertown Division, spoke out during a monthly sitting of the St. Ann Municipal Corporation on Thursday, basically vouching for the people of Epworth, asking the municipal to move them hand a bit faster to sort out the whole main water catchment tank in the Epworth community. Bell stated that the tank is the only source of potable water and same has been contaminated by remains of dead frogs. He have made multiple complaints, same went on deaf ears. 2 weeks ago, the chief engineering officer at the corporation, Syed Williams, visited the site in an effort to ascertain the state of the tank and the cost to undertake the repairs. Syed, however, told the meeting that the full restoration would take more time, noting that the plan is to undertake remedial work. We understand the situation. There is a provision being made to do remedial work to assist the process. We will be covering the tank with zinc so the frogs won't be able to get in. It will also be cleaned and patched. Then we will do the extensive work. Mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Michael Belnavis, also stated that the work on the tank should be done in short order. He quoted, "We had a meeting and discussions were made to have it cleaned, so I am certain it will happen before the week ends." So Councillor Ian Bell is crying that the people of Epworth are drinking bullfrog water. What can go so in a day and age like today? Why don't the people have running water in their pipes? ABR family and viewers, what says you about the issues that were raised in this video? Drop your comments in the comment section. Let us continue the discussion. Please to like, share, and subscribe to the channel on the road to 50k. Help me to get there, please, and thanks. Get this video to at least 8,000 likes. Do stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for more updates. Big up on yourself. Happy Friday.